Okay, I have something I want to show you. I will try and do this as quickly as possible. I have an indicator for risk management, and I have an EA for entering trades based on where you have lines placed on your chart. Stop loss, entry, take profit. The indicator is called trade lines, DW trade lines, actually, version 3. So when you put that on your chart, you can adjust your account percentage right here. It's going to show you, it's going to display the ATR. You can set the ATR period here. If you don't like 8, you can change it to, I don't know what people are using for the most part, but that's what the default is. You can change it there. Once I click OK, I get a little button up here. I'll tell you what that's for in a little bit. And I get 3 lines. One line for the target, one line for the entry, one line for the stop loss. And they're 10 pips either way off of this entry price right here. The stop loss line, it shows you the price level of the line. It shows you how many pips away from entry it is. It tells you what your risk in dollars is based on the 1% you put in. And it tells you your position size based on how far you are away from the entry. So if I move this, my my risk as a percentage of my account size stays 1%, the number of dollars stays 1%, and the position size changes because the position size is calculated based on the number of dollars I want to risk, which is 1%, and the distance in pips I am from my target. So as I move this, the position size updates as I move it, but the number of dollars and the percentage of my account does not. Okay. Also, notice up here I've got my target, which has the price level of the line, has the number of pips away from entry, has my profit in dollars, and it has my risk to reward ratio. So notice that when I move my stop loss, the position size stays the same, the distance away stays the same, but as the position size changes, my profit in dollars changes and my risk to reward changes up here. Pretty simple, okay? You move this up here, move this down here. Now you could, in fact, just use this as an indicator and use these numbers to use some other form of entry, like you could enter with TradingView or whatever. And then you could do that. But I have an EA. Well, first let me show you this button up here resets these lines. So let's just suppose you were trading the euro dollar back at the end of November for whatever reason. You went away from the euro dollar. You didn't trade it for a while. Now we zoom back in. You were trading the euro dollar back in November, but now it's December and there's no lines. What you could just zoom out and go find those lines and drag them up and down, or you could just, that's what this button's for. You just hit reset lines. It brings them back 10 pips above, 10 pips below, and now you can start moving these around to set up your trade, however you want to set it up. This button will also bring the lines back if they get erased. So reset line, and if I hit reset lines, they don't come back. Interesting. I didn't know that. Something I probably have to fix. That's the indicator. Now, if I bring this EA, DW, trade lines dash EA, onto the screen, I'm going to get, there's nothing really to input here. I get 3 buttons. One for a market entry, one for a limit entry, one for a stop entry. I don't like these buttons. I'm going to change them. I don't like the way they look, but they're functional. So I can show you how this works. So now let's set up a trade. Let's say, yeah, I think I'm going to hit my profit target here and put my, something's not right. I will fix that. There we go. So we're going to set up a trade here. We're going to move the stop loss up here. We think it's going to go all the way up to this pivot. I want to move this close to where my entry is going to be for a market order. And when I click market order, it entered the market order right here. Take profit. This is the order number. Take profit is this right where this line was. The order was, well, it was at ass, so it changed a little bit. I need to I have to think about that. It does change a little bit because this is moving, and these numbers are based on where this line is, and that's so that you can do limit orders and stop orders. But I just clicked market. It entered a market order, and it put the stop loss at exactly this level, put the target at exactly this level with this position size. If you look down here, you see position size 1.57, position size 1.57, and there it is. It did increase your percentage a little bit, but I know how to fix that. I can fix that pretty easily. And there it is. Now if I want to change my trade, let's say I'm trailing my stop and I want to move it a little up. I'm going to move it away because it's so close, but we don't move our stops away, but same difference. When I move this line, this is the actual MetaTrader stop loss line. It's not anything that's part of any of what I did. But when I move that, that's going to increase my stop loss. And as soon as I let go of it, this line is going to pop right to where that is, because it's going through every tick and looking. Actually, it's going through every 50 milliseconds to see if there's a trade. If there's a trade, it gets the stop loss in the target from the trade and puts this line right there, so it'll snap right to it. But what's a little different here is that now the position size is set. Position size is not going to change because there's a trade in. So now we're calculating our risk in dollars based on the position size and the distance away, instead of calculating the position size based on the number of dollars and the distance away, because the trade's in. You can't change that once the trade's entered. So as I move this, my position size doesn't change, but my dollars of risk does. And since the position size doesn't change when I move this, nothing changes up here except the risk to reward. That's a market order. Now if I wanted to do a buy limit order, I could put my entry down here. I can leave that there. So now I'm saying price is going to come back down to here, and then it's going to go up and hit my target. So I want to enter a buy limit. All I have to do is press limit. I don't have to have a buy limit, sell limit button, because it's going to figure that out. If the entry is below the current price and the stop loss is below the entry, that's a buy limit. If the entry is above current price and the stop loss is above the entry, then that's a sell limit. So you don't have to decide whether it's buy or sell limit. You just get your lines in the right order, and it'll enter that trade as a sell limit. And you can see right here, here's your trade. Right here it says that it's a sell limit with a stop loss and a target. If I want to adjust it, you know, I can adjust the stop loss here, just like as if the trade were already in. One unique thing about MetaTrader is if I change the actual entry on its sell limit, it's going to move the stop loss and the target with it. That's just the way MetaTrader works. So if I move this down here, well, then, you know, I got to go back and move this back up where it was, and move this back up where it was. That's just the way it is. So it'll do a buy limit and a sell limit. You don't have to enter, you just enter limit. It'll do that based on, you know, how the order that the lines are in. It's not going to give you an error message if you have the lines in the wrong order. It just won't enter a trade. Same thing if I move my target up here and try and enter a limit order. Nothing happens because you can't have the target higher than the entry. I could have a pop-up dialog box and say, there's an error here, this is what the error is, and then you'd have to clear that. I didn't want to do that. You guys should be able to figure out if the order doesn't enter. Go over here and look, and you got something out of order. That's the way it works. It works same for a stop, you know. So, you know, if this stop loss were down here and my target were up here, and I entered and I clicked stop, it would do a buy stop. When it got up to this level, it would go. There it is. That's what it is. So I just want to let you guys know that. If you like it, if you're interested, let me know, and we can, maybe I can do a Zoom session and you guys can ask questions. But I think it's pretty freaking cool, actually, if I must say so myself. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys.